Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tarot Talk Live, everyone. And this is another episode of Conspiracy Theory Shorts. My name is Catherine, and we are about to get started. But before we do, if I could just do a little bit of housekeeping, I just want to first welcome everybody back to the show and the channel. If you are new to the channel, please do us a huge solid and hit that like button for me. And if you feel so inclined, please also subscribe. It's free and it really helps the growth of this channel. And I really appreciate it so much. But first, before we even go into that, I want to also welcome you because we are almost at 100 subscribers, you guys. So please help us reach our goal. Go ahead and put a yellow heart, or you can hashtag win, or you can hashtag free reading in the comment section, and I will enter you in your chance to win a free reading with me. I'm going to be doing the drawings once we reach 100 subscribers, and I will be having a live watch party, and it's going to be a lot of fun, you guys. So please help us grow. Also, go to my main channel, Queen Cancer Tarot. There is an option to join if you feel so inclined, but if there are 3 different tiers, okay? But the top tier gives you access to get to all of the extendeds across all 3 of my channels. So on Queen Cancer Tarot, it is primarily for Cancerians, but I also focus on the cross watcher as well. Okay, we do a lot of you versus them readings on that channel, and Cancer versus all 12 signs. But I also have another channel, She Reads Tarot, where I read for all 12 signs. So whatever it is you're looking for, you have access to it by being a member over there. And you have access to all 3 of the channels. And you have access to all 3 of the channels anyways for free, but you get access to all of the extendeds for a monthly price of $9.99. And the lowest tier is $2.99. By joining in on that membership level, you get access to the members only, the exclusive lives, and the members only lives where we just talk about regular stuff. You guys, I let you guys know about my personal life, me, things going on in the background of the channel, just things that just the regular viewer doesn't really get to see. So I give you that access by being a member. And then we have the $4.99 level, which is the mid-level. That is also, and this is called our Third Eye Squad. Being part of the Third Eye Squad will open you up to access to a free question. So yes, you get to ask me any question you want every single month just for being a member of that particular tier. Plus, you get access to all of everything in tier 1. So if you join the 3rd tier, which is the access to all of the extendeds across all 3 channels, that is for $9.99, then you get tier 1 and tier 2. So you'll get the access to the free members only and lives. You'll get access to all of the additional members only videos that I do. You'll get access to the free question of the month, and you'll get access to all of the extendeds. Okay, so that's right there is killing it, because the cost of one extended is $11.11 across the board, and you beat that out just by purchasing a membership, okay, for 1 month. And it's easy to turn on and off, which is why I like it, because if there's a month where my budget is like, cut everything off, then I will turn everything off. And then when I'm ready to turn stuff back on, I'll turn it back on. So that's the way it works. I've had members of this channel for 24 months, 18 months. They've turned off, they've turned back on. Some months are off months, some months are on months. It is what it is, right? But that is the ease of access and why I like YouTube so much. So please feel free to join a membership, you guys. Then if you do, you have to go to my other channel, Queen Cancer Tarot, and that link is below. And my other channel, She Reads Tarot, the link is below. Please go subscribe to both. Help us reach our goal over there on She Reads Tarot. We are almost there, but not as close as we are on this one. So let's get started. Okay, you guys, we are about to get started with conspiracy theory, and I think we're somewhere around number 22 ish. Okay. But we are focusing on the current administration, and this is all alleged. Everything I say on this channel is for entertainment purposes only. Okay. And my disclaimer and all of that information is in the description box, so you can go and read it for yourself. Okay. And I'm operating under the First Amendment. So let's get to it. All right, guys. So I also want to remind you guys, when I do tarot readings, I am not calling out to any, any gods, any spirits. All I'm doing is asking. I get my answers from energy and from intuition. So these are pure energy readings. Okay. I'm not calling in anything. When I do these readings, I'm doing them on my own volition. Okay. And I'm asking questions, and I'm asking, of course, I always pray to the Holy Spirit, but I pray to one God, and that is Jesus Christ. That is all that is ever present. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't do spell work. I don't do anything like that. I don't do any dark work, anything whatsoever. I pray. I pray for those who are in need. I pray for myself. I pray for my family and my loved ones and the world at large. Okay. And that's it. I love myself. I love my children. I love everything that I've been blessed with. Okay. And I feel like that is the proper way to move about this universe. Okay. And I'm constantly seeking guidance, okay, from the divine. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of background before we get started, because some of this stuff gets a little dark, and I don't want y'all to be getting scared or feeling like things are getting weird, because it isn't. It's just energy. I'm just reading the cards. Okay. Now you guys take it how it resonates. And I always encourage you all to always do your own research. And no one is ever guilty of any crimes or anything like that unless proven guilty in a court of law. They are innocent, right? So I'm not here to accuse anyone. I'm not here to point blame, but I am here to look at the energy and to ask questions and to provoke a thought process within you all out there as responsible individuals. And hopefully you guys are free thinking. So with that being said, let's get started with the message. So you see the title, okay? So, I mean, I really just want to know, honestly, okay? Did Trump ruin himself, or did he ruin us, meaning the U.S.? So I wanted to start with a word, and I wanted to read the definition of that word before we move on to the questions, because it's going to be relevant. It is, what is a puppet? And I wanted to know what the definition of puppet was so that I could really understand the concept in the questions that I'm asking, and then look at the answers and the energy that we see, and then just look at it in that silhouette. Okay, so I'm basically channeling a message right now. So let's just go there. All right, but first it says a puppet is a movable figure or doll representing a human, animal, or mythical creature. It is manipulated by a person, a puppeteer, using hands, strings, rods, or wires. Metaphorically, the word describes a person or a government controlled by an outside force. Now, let's back up a little bit and let's just break down that definition just a little bit, and then we will go ahead and start with our questions, okay? Um, and I do believe I want to write these questions out because I want to make sure we are very specific with how we ask them. Okay, so let's see here. Sorry, guys. Of course, I'm being a little klutz right now, but it's okay. Okay. And you guys, I did just move into my recording studio, you guys. I am in here. So if it looks a little bit different, it's because it is. If the energy is different, it's because it is. If the sound quality is different, it's because it is. I am so happy, folks. I am so happy. So we'll talk more about that later as well. All right. So let's break this down. A puppet, okay, is a movable, okay? So let's just break this down. Movable, able to be moved, okay? So basically, it's going to be speaking in terms of an individual. This individual has to be able to be swayed, okay? Moved. Their position can't be one that is firm and unshakable. You have to get someone who is not rooted in anything that is sound or solid. You have to get someone who is easily turned from value oriented decisions and choices and positions. You have to get someone who is kind of spineless in a way, right? So there is the first basis of the puppet, right? So if you're looking for a puppet, you first have to look for something that is movable. Figure or doll. Now, let's break down figure or doll because I feel like this has resonance as well. A figure is something that is in place. It's set in stone, right? Meaning that it's well known. Okay. Every time you pass this particular street or corner, you see the statue, it's always there. It's considered a figure because now every time you come upon this particular corner, you're going to look for that, or your brain is going to be confused if it's not there, right? So it's something that has to be in the eyes of others, something that belongs in a particular place or position. Okay? Breaking it down. Now, let's go to the next word. So we have puppet, we have figure. And again, figure is all about creating a solid position in someone else's mind. Okay. And then the next word is doll. Well, we all know when we say doll or we hear the word doll, we're instantly thinking of a dainty or a childlike, youth-like, something that a child would play with, something that would have the innocence of something that a child would want. Do you know what I'm saying? It's already giving it the character of something that is innocent. Okay. So doll is going to reflect innocence. right off the bat. Okay. Before you look at the doll. Do you know what I'm saying? So, next, representing a human. Okay. So, but not being a human, because that's two different things. If you're representing something, you are standing in place of it, like a lawyer represents his client. You know what I'm saying? Right? Or a mentor represents the mentee, right? So there's an energy here. It's not an actual human, it's representing a human. The puppet is occupied, therefore. If it's not human, that means it is of some other form. But if it's representing a human, that means there is an outer human shell. Is that not? Do you not get that? That is what I'm energetically, intuitively getting. These are just my intuitive opinions based on what we're talking about right now. Okay, I'm just breaking this down with you because I thought about this briefly and I had to jump on because I was actually getting ready to do a whole nother cancer reading and it went left when this popped into my head. And I'm like, wait a minute, we need to do this now. Okay, so we've got representing a human, which we're going to define as not human and occupied by something else, right? Okay, so next it says animal or mythical creature. Animal or mythical creature. So, animal and then mythical creature. So, it's presenting two things in your mind at the same time. When you think animal, you're going to think wild. Okay. When you think mythical creature, okay, creature is going to take your brain into something a little more sinister or on the darker side. When you have the mythical here, the word mythical, that takes you to a part of your brain that you are not really truly able to tap into. Okay. So if you think about it, it's almost like a spiritual aspect. Wild spirit. Okay. Creature. All right. So let's just read what we have so far without the main words. Movable. Creating a solid position in someone else's mind of innocence. However, it's not human and it's occupied by something else. It is of a wild spirit creature. Now, this is the craziest part of the entire definition that I want to break down. And I've read it to you already, so your brains have heard it, but likely have not tapped into what you just heard me read. Okay? Listen to this. It says it is manipulated by a person, a puppeteer. Okay? It's manipulated by a person, a puppeteer. So there is an actual person now. And then it gives you a dash. And when you hear person, you're going to automatically reflect, okay, they're talking about something real, right? Something that is actually tangible. A human, a real human. All right. Using one of these four items. Hands. When you think of someone using their hands, and puppeteer is control. So let me write this down. Let's go ahead and include puppeteer. Puppeteer is controller, okay? The controller, the one who's running whatever the puppet is doing. Occupying the puppet, should you say. Actual real thing, a real person or something tangible. I'm going to include the word tangible. And then hands, if you think of someone who's controlling with their hands, they're physically restraining, right? Or physically making someone do something, putting their arm out, making them, you know what I mean? So it's a physical control of their actual physical person. Or, so it's like roughing someone up, right? You can control the puppet by either force, physical force, or the next one it says is strings. Now, when you think of strings, they attach, right? Strings attach one thing to another, which means that that one thing is dependent on that other thing. So what is it that this particular puppet depends on, right? What are the strings? What is it that we can use, right, to manipulate them? Okay. So this is more of a coercive way of control, but it's using wants and desires. Okay. Wants and desire. Or obsessions. What does somebody obsess about all the time? Is it doing bad things? Is it, money? Is it having lots of cars, homes? What is it that they obsess about? What is it that we could potentially hold over them, right? Next, we have rods. Okay. When you think of rods being used in the spirit realm, they are used to locate energy. Okay? To locate energy, period. Rods are a form of spiritual. It's puppeting, it's using this person. And when I say again, a puppet, it's movable. It's moving this person in a spiritual way. It's using a spiritual tool. Okay? So rods are going into spiritual tools. Spiritual tools are used to fix things in a spiritual sense, or to change or to cause people to do things. All right? And that is all about a form of possession. Okay? Lastly, we have wires. Well, that just speaks for itself. This is electronic. So there's an energy of some sort of a actual engineered process of controlling someone from a distance or using some other means. So it's an electronic way of manipulating or operating something or someone. Okay. From a distance. Okay. So think about this. You've got something movable creating, or someone seeking something who's movable, right? Or you have someone or something that is movable, which is a solid position in other people's mind, right? And there's this innocence about this person. They represent someone that looks like you and me, but they're not. They're occupied by something else. It's a wild spirit creature that appears as real and human and tangible, but there is something darker that is within, behind the scenes, that is controlling this person's every move. With hands, physical force is sometimes used to restrain, or I feel in some cases, to take people out when they don't act accordingly. Strings, well, money can go a long way, and so can power. People that have pull and they know exactly what people's interests, whether good or bad, and they know other darker things that can be used to manipulate, control, and coerce and extort others to do things. We have rods here, spiritual tools used to take full possession of the puppet. And we have wires that can also be utilized when necessary in very strategic forms. And we're going to leave it at that. Let's go into the questions. Okay. Now, Keep that in your mind when you're listening to the questions and when you're listening and looking at the answers and the responses that we get, because for some reason, that word stood out to me when I was thinking about what to ask. So, looking at the relationship with the US and Israel, Trump and President Netanyahu, okay, um, who has this veto power, it seems, over the things that Trump says and or does, you know? So veto power. So basically, and that's where I go with this. How? Okay? How does Netanyahu have this chokehold on the US? Is there information that he holds over Trump? So let's just start there. Is there information that we'll just call him NY, NYU has that is being used as a tool or a string in this case. This is going to be a string, you guys. Use as a string to hold over DT. Okay? NYU and DT is what we'll go with. Okay, guys? Is there information that NYU has that is being used as a string to hold over DT? Okay. Next question, and then I think we'll ask one more. Will DT ultimately follow the lead of NYU, or will DT end up betraying NYU and strike a deal that NYU doesn't agree with? Y'all got that? Will DT, because I'm going to separate him from us because he hasn't given us a say so. So will DT ultimately follow the lead of NYU, or will DT betray NYU and agree to a deal that NYU does not agree with? It's just a question we want to know. And then lastly, Israel wants to continue strikes on Lebanon and Iran. Will they be able to sustain their own military? Okay. And it's also said that the Israeli army is dwindling. Is that correct? So that's going into a different rabbit hole. So I feel like we're going to stop with these two, you guys. But we're going to come back and ask the final two questions. We're going to go into that rabbit hole with Israel's army. That'll be on the next short. But since this is a short, we're going to keep it short and sweet. First question, okay? All right. What cards am I going to use here? Using some different cards today, guys. Is there information that NYU has that is being used as a string to hold over DT? Okay, right off the bat, it says your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. And that is exactly where we are right now. And it is about to be a full moon. Blue moon, in fact. And yes, we are smack dab. Where are we at right now? We are in... Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to tell you exactly. So we are in Gemini. We are right out of Taurus season. So if you think back, okay, to where we were, right around Taurus season, there was an energy of dreams needing a practical plan. Think about it. NYU has had dreams of launching strikes against Israel for a long time. And if you think of something practical, you're thinking of something that is tangible, something you can utilize, something that you have. And what does one have but information? What does one have and hold but information? Let's keep going. This card is sticking out. It's like literally saying, pick me. Take time to breathe out. Disseminating moon. You guys, we are right on the brink of a blue moon. Okay? We are right on the brink of a rare blue moon. Take time to breathe out. So this is an energy of a lot has just happened, and you need to take time to exhale, to calm down, to let out some anxiety. Do you see what I'm saying? Taking time to let out anxiety. This is like someone who's so overexcited that they need to really, it's like, you think about it. You think about somebody who is like just found out that they have the opportunity of a lifetime that they've been waiting for. It's almost like someone who's hyperventilating. And it's almost like, just calm down. I know you're excited. I know you are, but you need to calm down right now. That is the energy that I'm getting right now with NYU. Very much. I'm sorry. I don't know about you guys, but that's just how I feel. We're going to get one more, and then we're going to move to the other deck. One more, please, Spirit. Is there any information that NYU has that is being used as a string to hold over DT? Is there any information that NYU has that is being used as a string to hold over DT? Well, wanted to give us two more. It says your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. And have faith in your dreams. Now it says your dreams need a practical plan. This person does have faith in their dreams. They see that their hard work is paying off. And they're so excited about it that they can't even contain themselves. So there's the energy of this person is acting just like a cowboy. They're just acting as though they have this authority that we feel like is invisible. But there are things behind the scene. The practical plan is the information that they have. Let's look more into this. We're going to look here. Oh, look at this. We have expectation. Expectation number 28. 28 is 10. This is someone who's waiting on something. They're expecting someone to come in with an ending. They're expecting something final to take place. Pens represent endings and new beginnings. Ooh, so interesting. So we have jurisdiction here coming out. There is some decision that someone is expecting. Number 30. Which is a 3. Okay. Which represents something being created. Someone coming up with a plan. Someone expecting something to happen. They're expecting judication. I said jurisdiction. Judication, I'm sorry. Which is a decision being handed down. They're in expectation of some sort of decision being handed down. And this is a judge. Now, what's interesting here is we have child coming out in the reverse. This is a card that represents innocence gone. Someone who is pretending to be innocent. So the decision that they're expecting, they know is a decision that is not just. They're waiting on a decision that they know is going to come from, be handed down from an unjust, perhaps, ruler or a king. I mean, we have to put these questions in the context of who we're asking about, and then say, who is the judge that is expecting something, and who is the not so innocent, immature child behind the scenes? You tell me. We're just asking questions. You tell me how they resonate with you. Let's look at another deck, and then we will move on to the tarot message, and then we will go to the next question. Let's get 3 out of this deck here, just to see what we get. What is the energy around this? Is there information that NYU has that is being used? And what is this about a child in the reverse? What is this about some sort of court situation? This says to choose a new direction, okay? So it's like someone going down a trail, but it's like you don't want to go down that trail. It's like you don't want to do this. Is Spirit saying we don't want to go down this trail? Well, we have listen to your intuition, and this is in the reverse. So someone is not listening to their intuition. Their intuition is telling them to choose a new direction, but they're not choosing a different direction. They're going down this rabbit hole. What is the rabbit hole? Well, we have envy here in the reverse. I feel that because of greed and because of what started off as a heavy jealousy, it started off as two nations, right? One was jealous of the other. Let's just say brothers. One brother being jealous of the other brother, wanting what the other brother had, and deciding they were going to take it. Interesting here how that is coming into play. And this is in the reverse. So I feel like this is a downfall. And I feel like someone is not listening to their intuition. They're being guided to choose a different direction. They're being warned not to do this. But I feel that it's being done anyways. And this is going to be a problem. We weren't using a full deck. There was a card that was left behind. So 2 of them. Poverty and despair. Well. They think and thought that they were going to have a big financial payout and everybody would be rich. They were being made promises 2 different directions. Israel was being used as a pawn, perhaps, or NYU, because we're not going to use, he runs the country, okay? That's why I want to separate NYU from Israel, and I'm going to separate DT from us, okay? But look at both of them. Poverty, one is in poverty, and the other is in despair. 37 is 10, 32 is 5. Problems and endings, changes, and pretty much betrayal over money. It's not going to go the way they expected to go. They've made each other promises, but those promises were based on unjust actions, should say. Okay? Oh, those cards didn't even allow me to shuffle. So what do we have? We have the Seven of Swords. We have the Five of Pentacles. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. Well, well, well. Is there information that NYU has that is being used as a string to hold over DT? Absolutely. With the Seven of Swords, first of all, that is someone who's been deceitful. This is all about someone who is underground with some very serious things that they're in bed with. Okay. They've been deceptive. That Five of Pentacles, this is an energy of someone who is abandoning the other person. They're leaving this person out in the cold. There's an essence of not inviting this person in. The door is open, but this person is refusing to go in. Why? Well, the Seven of Pentacles here talks about rewards. It talks about expectations. It talks about some sort of promise of getting something later that is greater. It's the bigger picture. See? Well, the card said it, not me. Let's look under the deck. I didn't even shuffle. You saw. The card just popped out. And we got 3, so I'm sticking to it. We've been going with 3. I got 4 on those because 2 came out together. Under the deck here, you have the Knight of Swords. So this is all about someone who has a game changer. This is all about someone who is rushing in and they're using what they have to make something happen at the midnight hour. And I hate to use that term here. But this is telling me there's information that this person has come in that is a game changer, that is going to ultimately put them at the top of the chessboard. You understand? And look, the moon. See? This is secrets. This is all about secrets, things being done in the dark, things that no one else knows about, things that very few people know about. But they have the luxury of now having this information, and this secret information is what's going to be a game changer. Lastly, we have the Page of Swords. Okay, again, communication, and this is all about people who are anxious, people who are asking questions, people who want to know information, secret information, and this is all about people nervous and not wanting things to come out. Okay, so you tell me, and this is all about information, a message, and this is a very clear message being given, and somebody's not talking. Somebody doesn't want to say a word now. So you tell me. Next question. Will DT ultimately follow the lead of NYU, or will DT betray NYU and agree to a deal that NYU does not agree with? Let's look at the tarot messages here. Will DT ultimately follow the lead of NYU, or will DT betray NYU and agree, which it seems as though this may be happening, to a deal that NYU does not agree with? Okay. Interesting how these cards just came out. Let's take the first one. So we have the Ten of Wands in the reverse. Okay. This is telling me that someone is not just stressed out, but they can't take it anymore. This is someone who's folding. This is someone who is under the wire, under pressure, under the heat. The heat is too extreme and they can't take it. So they are backing down. This is someone who has been overstressed. This is someone who's folding. Okay. This is telling me that absolutely, yes, this person is going to be folding. Then, well, look at this. 13, the Devil energy. And it's in the reverse. Fancy that. This is all about something toxic. This is like a toxic relationship coming to an end, or a situation of someone who doesn't want a relationship to end, but someone is ripping the rug from underneath their feet, whether they want it or not. This doesn't look good together. The Ten of Wands in the reverse and the Death card in the reverse. Yeah, this is not ending good, is all I'm saying. And the only reason why it's ending is because somebody can't take it anymore. And who do you think can't take it anymore? Well, interesting, because we have the Six of Cups that has come out. And it was headed in the reverse direction. It was just like this. So I feel that this card is coming out in the reverse. All the other cards came out in the reverse. If we were to take it in the upright, this is an energy of people who go back. This is an energy of people who got along in the past, right? See, Three of Pentacles here. See what I'm saying? There it is. We'll just take it in the upright just in case, because there's question or doubt. We'll take it in the upright. But we have the Three of Pentacles here. But look, the Three of Swords. Things have gone in a way to which now this person has become defensive. And they are now have their spidey senses are all up in a roar. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like they can't trust the other person, right? We have the Six of Wands here. There's the energy of public recognition, being recognized, someone seeing someone. And then the Page of Wands. This is all about someone acting without thinking, acting without talking to the other person first. This is an act of going against their person. We had an agreement. We've been in this for a long time now. You know this. We're friends. We go back. We have a relationship. There's this expectation that this is supposed to happen. We've always worked together. Now it's like I can't trust you now. Things are going to go left. And it's going to go left very fast. Take it how it resonates, folks. Let me know what you think. But I'm going to conclude this version of Conspiracy Theories. I will come back later. We will ask questions regarding Israel and their army. Questions of Israel's army dwindling, okay? And also questions of whether or not they can actually sustain their military to continue strikes in Lebanon as they are now. So what's up with that? We'll ask in the next Conspiracy Theory Shorts. We're also going to be doing a deep dive again later this evening with another special conspiracy theory. So please stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure your notifications are turned on all so that you can be notified when I upload all of my videos. And also make sure to hashtag win, put a yellow heart in the chat so you can be notified and be entered in your chance to win a free reading with me. I just want to tell you guys so much that I love you, or tell you that I love you guys so much and that I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. And we are really getting ready to start promoting the channel. So please, you guys, like, share, comment, and subscribe. All right. Tell a friend to tell a friend and check out the website. Okay. I love you, and I will see you guys later on the next conspiracy. Bye.